My name's David. What's yours?
Paul.
The first victim, King, he was Jewish. I didn't even think about it when you came in dressed as a priest. And then the next night, seeing you in the hospital, and then a few minutes later, the nurse that was attacked in the lab, I knew it wasn't a coincidence. She was murdered tonight.
These crackers are stale.
Are you looking for someone?
Who?
I don't know. A girl? A woman who disguises herself as a prostitute?
Why would someone do that?
Why would someone disguise himself as a priest?
You know, don't you?
About you?
About her. You don't know anything about me. But you know about her, don't you? Say it.
Coffee, huh?
Thanks.
Say it or get out of here and stop wasting my time.
Okay. Is she like a vampire?
Like a vampire? My friend, there is nothing in this world like a vampire. But you know that, don't you?
No. It's not true. Nobody believes in vampires, not real ones.
That's their greatest strength. The fact that no one believes. But you do. And you'll never be free again, you know.
Free?
Free of that knowledge. Innocent. You've lost your innocence. You're so much like me when I first found out. Such a revulsion. And yet, such a sense of discovery. The Christopher Columbus of the world of the living dead. Don't be afraid of me. We're brothers. We share a knowledge few people have and fewer understand. Listen, it's been 6 months since I could really talk to anyone. And now the same thing is happening to you already. And you can't talk to anybody about it because if you do, they'll lock you up and shoot you up with Thorazine. And finally, in the end, you'll be excommunicated.
Excommunicated? You really are a priest?
This is not important. I was a priest in a small church outside New Orleans, St. Charles Parish. And when I found out about her, when I knew I had to destroy her, I...
Oh, no, wait. Destroy her?
Kill her. Once you discover a vampire, you have to destroy it. My God, what else is there to do? A vampire has glimpsed hell. She knows what awaits her, and so she'll go on killing. She must. And each new victim will become a vampire. So what choice do you have? No choice, my friend. Listen to this. This is how clever she is, how insidious. Right after she took the first man here, the lawyer, she found out that I had followed her, so she went to the hospital. She went there to steal blood so she could lay low for a while. No new victims, you see. And that would make me think that she had left the city, and I would leave looking for her somewhere else. But I'm too smart for her. And she knows it. She knows I'm here, and I know that she is out there right now. What's wrong?
You said that once she'd taken her first man here, you said here. Do you mean L.A.?
That's where we are, isn't it?
No, wait, please, listen to me. Where was she before this? I mean, in the last month or so.
Tucson most recently. And before that, Fort Worth. Why?
Did she kill in those places? think I can help.
Help? Help me? You're an amateur. I don't even know what you're doing here. What are you doing? Looking for Desire?
Desire?
That's her name. Didn't you know that? Do you know how old she is? How long she's survived? How many victims she's claimed? Nothing. You know nothing. And you're gonna deal with her. You're gonna destroy her. Tell me, David, are you a righteous man? You offer me help, you're a child. A vampire has no power over a righteous man. You know that, don't you? How could you know that? Temporal men should not hunt vampires. Do you know why? Because she'll find a crack in your armor, a hairline split, and that's all she needs to seduce you, to penetrate your soul. And once she does, you're hers forever, my friend, for eternity. These donuts are stale, too. I hate coffee shops.
Let me help you, Paul. I can. Whether you think so or not. You're right that people don't believe in vampires, but if you talk to them, I know we can convince Van Ness. His name's Jerry Van Ness.
Who is he?
He's a cop. He's a detective.
Are you crazy?
All right.
Are you crazy? The police? You haven't got a word. I said
Take somewhere else. Okay, it's okay.
Oh, my arm.
No way. I need you, Paul. I found you, and I'm not going to let you go. All I want you to do is talk to him, that's all. All right. You will? All right, I'm going to make a phone call. You wait right here. Metropolitan Police, please. Thank you. Jerry Van Ness, please.
Hey, hold on, pal.
It's getting away.
I mean, you've got to pay the check.
The check, right? You don't understand.
I understand. You pay the check right now.
Miss?
Hi.
Hi. Can I talk to you a minute?
Have you got something in mind? Or are you just shopping?
I have something in mind.
Okay. Time is money. Only I don't talk money first. If I talk money first and you're a cop, I'm in trouble.
I'm not a cop. But I've got 20 bucks. 30 bucks?
You're under arrest.
All right, let's go. Shut up. Put your hands on the hood or spread your legs.
Ball sticker, David R. Give your receipt. Right there. Here's your stuff, Balsiger.
Anyway, I got in the car and this hooker walked by. At least I thought she was a hooker.
David.
Wait a minute. Will you let me finish? I want you to understand. I was talking to her because I thought she walked the streets. I thought she might have seen this creature.
You paid her money?
Oh, well, I was going to. I mean, a hooker's time is money. I mean, that's the only reason I talked to her in the first place. Talk about entrapment. Anyway, the point is, I'm not out there cruising Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes, you are. You want to know the truth? The truth is, I almost wish you were after a hooker. I'd hate it, but at least I could deal with it. I can't deal with this, David, with this obsession.
Oh, so now it's an obsession.
Well, what would you call it?
All right, call it anything you like. But what you're forgetting, what you're ignoring is that you predicted this would happen in the first place. My chart. You remember? When we first started going out, you said my Mars was in opposition of Pluto or something like that. And you said that something drastic might happen. Well, that's the word you used, drastic. Or have you conveniently forgotten that?
Oh, I don't understand you anymore. You've never believed in astrology. Now you're trying to use it to justify all this craziness.
I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm trying to explain it. It's amazing. It's just like Paul said it would be. They pumped him full of Thorazine because they thought he was crazy. Yeah, I can see it now. Poor David Balsiger. He was such a nice, tidy young man.
David, stop it!
Now, come on, let's get it out, huh? Is that what you think? You think I'm making this all up? The priest, Paul, the vampire, the fact that she's out there, the fact that she is a vampire?
David, all I'm saying is that you've changed. You're like a different person. You've lost interest in everything that was important to you. Law school, your quarterfinals, your job, us.
You haven't answered me, Cheryl. Do you believe me or not?
I don't think this is the time.
This is the time!
David, will you listen to me for a minute? There's a counseling service at the hospital, and I really think...
No way.
You won't even try?
Try what? To convince some stranger that I'm not crazy when I can't even convince you? You know, I didn't ask for any of this to happen. I didn't ask for any of it.
Neither did I.
That many explosions has been announced there in a single day. In local news, the motel murderer struck again last night. Police declined to positively tie this murder in with the two previous motel murders, but a spokesman did confirm there are definite similarities. The victim was an out-of-town businessman. His name is being withheld pending notification of kin. In keeping with its previous findings, the civil aeronautic...
Homicide, please? Can I speak to Detective Jerry Van Ness? Hello, Jerry. It's David. David Balsiger. Fine. How about you? Good. Now, look, Jerry, I got some information for you. Oh, it's incredible stuff, really. Now, you won't believe what's been going on. Well, as soon as I can. Say in about a half an hour? Yeah, okay. Okay, bye. Thank you. Drive fast when you're really driving. Hi.
Hi.
That's when he took off, just when I was calling you. Now, there's a lot more. Incredible stuff, really, but we can get into that later. The main thing is I can prove that the guy's for real.
Can't imagine how.
Okay, you tell me. He told me that he'd been hunting her across the country. Now, I asked him where he's been most recently, and they said Tucson, and before that, Fort Worth. Have there been any similar murders there in the last month or so?
Yes.
Were any details released to the press? You see, Jerry, this is real. Oh, and one other thing. Last night's victim, the out-of-state guy? Well, I know this information wasn't released to the press, but he was married, wasn't he?
How did you know that?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You see, nobody really knows anything about vampires. But Paul told me that a vampire can't penetrate the soul of a righteous man. And then I began thinking about the victims. What did they have in common? They were married. All of them. Married and cheating on their wives. So in other words, for a female vampire, they're the perfect victims. Men whose souls can be easily penetrated because they aren't righteous.
You were arrested last night, weren't you?
Last night. Well, yeah, I was arrested, but it's not like it sounds.
Were you booked?
Well, yeah, I was booked, but again...
Charged?
Yeah, I was...
Released on $500 bail?
Yeah, I was, but what has that got to do with what I'm telling you?
I'm trying to make a point, David.
What point? Yeah, I was arrested, but it was a mistake. What's the point? I'm here because of what happened last night. I want to help. You make me feel like a damn suspect.
Let me buy you a cup of coffee.
I don't want a cup of coffee.
Let me buy you a cup of tea.
I don't want a cup of tea.
Coffee black. David, I like you.
Oh, boy.
That's why I'm telling you, for your sake. No more help.
For my sake? What has my sake got to do with this? You got a girl out there posing as a hooker, killing people, and I come in here with information. Information? Hell, I find a guy who's chased her halfway across the country, who was in Tucson and Fort Worth.
David! What the hell is it with you? When I met you that night, you impressed me as a guy who had it together, who had a perspective on things. Now you're coming in here wild-eyed with stories about priests and vampires. Well, I've had it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Do you walk around with a cross now? Do you keep a wooden stake to drive through its heart?
How's the search for the short, wiry transvestite coming?
David. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I think you should seriously consider professional help.
Hi.
Hi. What's going on?
I'm leaving.
Leaving? Leaving where?
I called a cab. Amy from the hospital said I could spend a few days with her.
You're moving out?
For a little while. David, I love you. But I just can't stay here like this. All we do is argue, and all I do is cry and worry, and if staying would help, I'd stay. But I don't think it would. I think this is something you have to work out on your own. Her number's in the book by the phone. But please, David, don't call. unless it's over. It's probably the cab.
We just moved in. Here, I can carry those.
No, that's all right. I got it. Amy said she could drive me to work and back, so try and take care of yourself, David. You look tired. Don't forget to water the plants.
Hello, this is David Balsiger. I won't be able to come in tonight. No, I'm very sick. Yes, it's coroner's aid, that's right. Thank you.
Old friend and neighbor.
Sure, I will, Mr. Wilson. If they're gonna do something, I'll help them.
Why, David Balsiger, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, trying to pick up girls on Hollywood Boulevard. Do you remember me? Mona from the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I need to talk to someone. May I get in?
Yeah, sure.